Pardon me a moment, folks, as I get myself adjusted. Okay. So it looks like we're going to be doing this stream from this perspective then. Calm down, Fan. More than likely, there's still people looking at my reaction to today's chapter, obviously. But let me go ahead and get myself set up so we can go ahead and do these reflections, even if no one shows up. So I'm just double checking. I'm just double checking. And the views are on the rise. People like One Piece. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing this until keep doing this even if people show up. So, yo peoples. Actually, let me move this mic over here. Kyushu92 here, bringing you One Piece reflections for the month of May. We have had 3 chapters to go on this entire month, and I figured we would go over the ones that we got this month. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the first one we got this month, Chapter 942, The Daimyo of Hakumai, Shimotsuki Yasuie. So, in this chapter, we learned a little bit more about Yasuie, how he had rounded a lot of the people that make up the 9 scabbards were brought before him. So so let's just go through it. In the past, Hakumai is the only legal harbor in all of Wano. There may be good people visiting, but that means bad people will all be visiting. So he must be an impregnable force, as expected from the Wano country's strongest samurai. And we see here that Yasuie, back in the day, he was a very stern individual, a complete reversal of how he was before. We'll get into that in a little bit. But we see he's a stern individual, and we're speaking to the future shogun of Wano, Oden. Of course, we don't see his actual face, but and we see that Yoden's like young and rebellious. He doesn't want to be the shogun. He would rather be Yasuie. Yasuie is reprimanding him, saying that you're the son of the current shogun. You're going to be the next one. You're the heir. And then he hits Oden, and then we see like their dynamic. It was. Oh man, this chapter was hard. This chapter was hard to read. I'm gonna be honest. It was hard to read because of the events and the things that happened in this chapter overall. And sorry if the view is reverse. YouTube streaming is odd that way. But this is all something that he's reflecting on because, as we know in chapter 943, he was hung up and crucified to be executed, and he's just reminiscing on all of his previous thoughts beforehand. And everyone who was born in Hakumai are surprised to see him and saying, Lord Yasuie, I'm so glad that you survived. And he's crucified on a massive pole in front of the prison that's holding all the people that were going to be joining the Straw Hats and the Red Scabbards on the assault on Onigashima during the whole fire festival. And everyone is just, the man stole from the capital last night. This man is the former daimyo of Hakumai, Shimotsuki Yasuie. And he's apologizing for lying. In the past, he committed the grave crime of opposing Shogun Orochi with his army. As such, he will be executed here in humiliation and buried as a sacrifice along Komurasaki. He admitted to being the witching hour boy who caused major disturbances throughout the capital. That was a lie. I figured that if I was going to die anyway, I would admit to it. That way I could draw everyone's attention. All the attention and commotion from Komurasaki's funeral has shifted focus to Yasuie's execution. Drake, the residents of Ebisu Town, and all the residents of Ebisu decided to just completely raid the capital in order to catch up to Yasuie. This man seems he's an even more important figure than we had imagined. And all the people from Ebisu Town are running in saying, please don't kill Yasuie. And everyone's trying to stop him. We can't let Yasuie die. If he dies, we will no longer be able to live. So the thing that got me was everyone's running to try and rescue him, and they're all just smiling. And then we find out that Yasuie made up the symbol that all the people who are part of the rebellion that's supposed to be going up against Orochi and Kaido, he made up that symbol. And he ridicules Orochi, calling him a pest. Are you listening, Orochi? The vast expanse of trees, bushes, rivers, and villages, you tainted it all with your boundless greed. And it's right here where Yasuie just goes ham on this guy, and he's all like, Fool! How dare you come to Wano, claiming it as your own? I was about to say, I was about to make a Pocahontas riff. It's every tree, every spirit has a name. Have you ever heard the Wano cry for Oden too? And why is Orochi here trying to take his place? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just I just went off a whole complete tangent, but Yasuie is talking to this dude. You are nothing more than a pest. How dare you, Yasuie? And Orochi is so hung up on himself, he thinks that, how dare this individual talk to me that way in my country? And Yasuie is all like, dude, this ain't your country. This belongs to Wano. You done tainted it because you stank. So, and everyone is telling him, stop, be quiet. You're going to get in trouble. Yo, EGK, welcome to One Piece Reflections for the month of May. I'm going through all the One Piece reflections that we've gotten this month, and we're going through 3 of them. They shouldn't take too long. I'm going to cover all my bases, give you my impressions on each chapter, and then that'll be it. But I will, however, later today, will be playing Code Vein because I got a code that allows me to play the network tests. So I'm definitely going to play that today. So hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. We're going to continue going through this chapter because we're on chapter 942 right now. So 20 years after the Kozuki name died off, we no longer had the military power to exact revenge. Burdened with the Kozuki family's regret and resentment, I created the symbol that has been circulating around Wano, getting all these people in trouble. And everyone's surprised. It was all a prank, and he's laughing. 20 years ago, after the death of Oden, Orochi approached the 4 remaining daimyo and asked us this: will you bow before me or will you fight? And no one wanted to join him at all. What an utterly ridiculous question it was. Even though you were greatly indebted to him, why the heck would anyone acknowledge you? You used cheap tricks to steal the title of Shogun from Oden. So, obviously, Orochi didn't earn the title. He just stole it and used tricks, and more than likely had the help of Kaido along the way in order to bring this into reality. I hope you take this as a compliment. I've never seen anyone so passionate about a series. Thank you. I love this series, even though, like, reading One Piece has always been. I first got started with One Piece with the 4Kids dub. I know, but I've loved the series ever since, and it has been the one manga series that I have read through completely. And well, actually, I started reading One Piece during the whole Punk Hazard arc. So I felt I kind of did myself a disservice not reading it from the beginning. But I've been slowly but surely getting the volumes from 1 all the way to 60. So I'm slowly but surely filling out my book, filling out my entire shelf with these. But yeah, I honestly, back in the day, when I first started doing One Piece videos, I never thought that I would be this passionate about it. Like, I love the series as a whole, but I never thought that I would put so much effort into doing voices and, you know, facial expressions and just going all out. Like, if you were to look at my first One Piece video, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm completely oblivious on how it's going to turn out. And then as the videos go on, it starts to become more natural for me to the point where I can just make video after video on anything One Piece related or game related and I just flow with it now. It's like it's become a part of me now. I love this series, I really do, and I love My Hero Academia. I need to get back into reading that. I know I am so far behind. So, but I don't know if I'm going to continue making videos on My Hero Academia on the channel because not that many people watch it and it's not as popular as my One Piece series. Like my One Piece series can easily reach hundreds of views, but my Hero only reaches like a little bit. But conversation for another time. We need to continue with these reflections. I don't want to keep you guys here too long. As this goes on, Daimyo and the citizens of each region took up swords without a hint of hesitation, however. Our revenge was brought to an end by the monster known as Kaido. So Kaido came in and pretty much just crushed every single rebellion that rose up against Orochi in the name of Odin. And thus the Wano country was reduced to ashes. So I imagine that the Wano country itself looked a lot more beautiful before Kaido came into the picture. But then when he came in, going all Omega Shenron and just raising the entire country, except for the flower capital, I imagine that's when it started to look so dreary. If anything, all the destroyed villages and everything that's destroyed in Wano, I feel is the result of Kaido himself. So that's kind of what I think, like after all this time. All right, even though it was not my intention, I managed to escape death and went into hiding in Ebisu Town. I could not bear the thought of living in hiding until my dying breath, so I devised a childish plan. Please forgive me. But Orochi was an even bigger coward than I had anticipated. See, this dude has no qualms calling the current shogun of Wano, the evil shogun of Wano, a coward. Like, Yasuye knows he's going to die, so he's just going no holds barred. In his moment of panic, he ordered the arrest of all these innocent people who bared the mark of the crescent moon. The mark was nothing but a simple and popular design from long ago. What? He did all this because Lord Orochi panicked? What are we supposed to do with all the people we caught? So everyone is in shock at this news. The fact that everyone who they've imprisoned was just imprisoned because Orochi got scared. It just shows you how cowardly he is. And Orochi's riding up to him, preparing to shoot him on top of his carriage. So you've come, Orochi. So you have come, Orochi. It's been a long time. Any last words, Yasuye? Orochi. Oh, right. I shall tell you of the curse that binds your heart. Upon the man whose mind has swollen shut, a lifetime of Odin to fill your gut. And this just enrages Orochi. And he laughs in his face. Cover the children's eyes. The last daimyo that served the Kozuki, the frivolous flatterer from Ebisu Town, will now make his way to the other world. Let us all sing together. And at that moment, he's just gunned down. It is just so brutal. Like, I literally lost all will to voice all characters after reading that one. Just seeing that one panel just made me lose all will to voice any other characters. I didn't want to do any laughs. I didn't want to try any voices because I like Yasu. I like Yasuye. And to see him gunned down in such a manner, it was like, I haven't felt this sad for a character ever since I read Sanji's backstory. And then before that, there was Ace. So it just made me feel like, Odin, why do you keep bringing us into so many sad moments? Like, Odin really does know how to kill a mood. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but he really does know how to take you from the highest level of happiness and excitement and just cut you down in an instant. It just shows you that he's really good at storytelling. Like, he can make you feel all sorts of ways from just singular to double panels at best. So it just shows you how good he can grip you with his story when he causes you to feel for people like you like, how many chapters has it been since we've met Yasu? Less than 20, maybe more than 20, possibly? And now I feel for this guy as much as I did for Ace and as much as I did for Corazon, Rocinante. Like, these people who literally gave their lives and lost their lives, and people just like them so much. It's just like Odin knows how to make you like somebody and then make you feel for that person when that person dies. But he's gunned down, and everyone's just awestruck, and Toko's crying for her father's name. This is where I lost it. This is where I lost it, where I see Toko just crying out for her father's name. I just could not do it. And he falls off of the post dead, and everyone is crying and bawling their eyes out. And this is when this is when it just loses it for me. Everyone just starts laughing. Like legit laughing. And it's not who you think. It's everyone from Ebisu Town. All the people who have the most respect for Yasu. They're all laughing at him. And then Toko's laughing, and that's just all I was done. I was done. After reading that, I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't handle it. Like seeing Yasu's daughter scream out her father's name, scream for her dad, and then all of a sudden she says, "Daddy died," and then she starts bawling her eyes out, but she's laughing extremely hard. Is like it that did it for me. I couldn't do it anymore. And then Zoro's looking at everyone furious, wondering, why are you laughing at him? Why he just died? What's so funny about it? And then Hiyori comes to us and lets us know that everyone is like this because of the smile. And that's the last we see of this chapter. Then, of course, we go on break. Then we go into chapter 943 called Smile, and we find out a little bit more about it. And in this chapter, we actually see a little bit more backstory of Yasu. And he's here in front of the people who would be known as the Red Scabbards. Of course, we still don't see the full appearance of Kawamatsu and Denjiro. Yeah, Denjiro. We still don't see them. We see them in the back. They're on the rightmost side of the panel, but we still don't see their full-bodied appearance. But all the people who would make up the 9 Scabbards are there before they officially become the 9 Scabbards. Do you like Oden? Of course, we all owe him a great debt. If what you say is true, then use this money to start over anew. Learn some manners and buy some books. Fill yourselves with knowledge and wisdom. If hoodlums like you were to become the retainers of Oden as you are right now, you would just bring shame to his name. He will one day be the shogun of the Wano country, and the people who will support him through it all must be the best samurai in the country. A servant's duty is to protect their master. All of you must make yourselves the capitals, know the entire country's guardians. And all the people affiliated with him, from Inuarashi, Shutendoji, Raizo, Kinemon, Kanjuro, Kawamatsu, they all look on with tearful eyes over everything that's happened. It's just like, why must the good die young? And then we go back to the flower capital. Everyone's still laughing at Yasu's death. And everyone is wondering what's going on. And then Hiyori says, this is Shogun Orochi's most heinous crime. He has brought misery to all of these people and will not even allow them to grieve. What is this place?
I wanted to tell you with my brownies.
Did you warm these brownies up? Oh, how you deprived me. Why? Why you do this? Why do you do this? I'm streaming right now. You just gonna come out of nowhere and surprise me with a brownie. You know my weakness. That my kryptonite. You knocking my knees out with the fudge brownies out. Why? Why? It's just amazing. I'm sorry. Mom brought in some heated hot brownies and she just gave me my weakness. I'm sorry. It made me lose my train of thought. He has brought misery to all of these people and will not even allow them to grieve. What is this place, if not hell itself? Tell me, Sir Zorojuro. Tell me, Sir Zorojuro. And then Zoro's all like, I thought smiles were just artificial devil fruits. And we come to find out that the smiles themselves Not only are they capable of granting people artificial devil fruit powers, such as the case of Kaido's army and his gifters, but we also find out that depending on the type, it can cause a person to permanently behave in a certain manner. So in the case of the smiles themselves causes the individual who eats them to pretty much lose their... Well, actually, let's keep going further. In this page, Shinobu actually explains the whole concept of Kaido's army. So what she says is, several years ago, Kaido and Orochi started to trade the weapons made in this country for a certain man-made fruit, known as Smile. Upon eating the fruit in exchange for their ability to swim, they would be granted the ferocious power of animals. So currently, the Smiles that we know of. Fandom D Saint, what's going on? We're in the middle of doing our reflections right now. I might actually start doing my reflections live. So that way, just in case I miss anything and you guys point things out, I can address them in the video rather than you guys letting me know after the fact and me not being able to edit it in later. But we're in the middle of going through chapter 943, Smile, where we find out a little bit more about the Smiles themselves and the effect that they have on people. So Shinobu starts to explain that several years ago, Kaido and Orochi started to trade the weapons made in this country for a certain man-made fruit known as Smile. Upon eating the fruit in exchange for their ability to swim, they would be granted the ferocious power of animals. It is a terrifying fruit. Artificial devil fruits, you mean from that factory we destroyed. And we know this because there was a Smile factory in Dressrosa, and there was multiple vats within Caesar's laboratory back in Punk Hazard. There was even one for angry and another for sad, which makes me wonder if Caesar made fruits out of those, they would be sads and angries, and they would possibly have the same effect that they normally have, that Smiles have on people. Like one would permanently be sad and another would permanently be angry. But with Law destroying that entire factory, that entire laboratory, and pretty much the entire mountain itself with his giant room, I don't know if there's going to be any more of them. So with that being said, we also get a closer look into Kaido's army's ranking dynamic. Kaido's goal is to use that fruit to strengthen his forces and make them monsters in order to have the strongest pirate crew in the world. But of course, there is always a risk when it comes to things that sound too good to be true. And now we find the downside of having a Smile. The success rate of artificial enhancement is 10%. If 10 people were to eat the fruit, only one person would obtain a power. The 9 who ate the faulty fruits receive only the side effects. So pretty much all the people who make up Kaido's army that use powers are part of that 1% that actually get the powers. Everyone else is permanently stuck in the side effects. So, going by that knowledge, on top of being unable to swim due to the incomplete formula, as a side effect, they also lose the ability to become sad or angry. And we see here in this panel that there's a vat called Sad. So I'm pretty sure that if Caesar made one out of them, then the people, well, you guys know, I already said it. They can only laugh and smile. Kaido's beast pirates are split into 3 main forces. The ones who have yet to eat a fruit, they wait for their chance to become beasts. The waiters. These are the dudes that ain't eaten nothing yet and they want to get powers, but they can wind up either as a gifter or the pleasures. Then there are the powerful 10% that have been bestowed the power of beasts. They are known as the gifters. You know, Batman, Alpaca Man, Hold'em. I wouldn't say Jin Rummy. I don't think Jin Rummy's one. I think she might actually be a waiter. But Sheep's Head and pretty much every single animal gifter, artificial animal, devil fruit user we've seen in Wano is pretty much a gifter. Lastly, there are the unfortunate ones who ate the faulty fruits, the laughing warriors, the pleasures. These are the ones who didn't get the powers but got all of the side effects. Boo-hoo for them. And as if to mock those unfortunate souls, they named the fruit after its effect, Smiles. And then we get one massive panel with Caesar, Kaido, and Doflamingo, respectively. Haven't seen him since his incarceration in Impel Down when he was speaking to Magellan about a potential assassin coming to kill him because of the super secret that Doflamingo knows of the Celestial Dragons. Also thought it was a weird name for devil fruit, but I never knew its meaning. That is only the tip of the iceberg. Orochi set his eyes on the faulty fruits. After all, the fruits were only bitten into once. Another thing about smiles themselves is, unlike regular devil fruits lose their ability once a person eats into it once. And then it just becomes nothing but a horrible tasting fruit. But in the case of the smiles, they can be bitten into multiple times by multiple people, and the people will all still receive the side effects of the smile. So that's what makes it a dangerous fruit. If you tell people that it still has a power in it, but you don't tell them of the side effects, they will suffer those side effects due to the fact that smiles don't lose their properties after they've been bitten into. Just making sure the stream is going fine. We're doing pretty good. We're making some good time right now. Although there were failures, they still retained the side effects afterwards, which allowed for the creation of more pleasures. Deaths were a daily occurrence in the capital's leftover town, and thus so were the tears and grief. Orochi, who found all of this very unpleasant, started mixing the faulty smiles into the capital's leftovers that were thrown out. So being the sadistic douche that he was, he took all the smiles that were already bitten into and threw them into the leftovers to be sent to Ebisu Town for the people who are desperate for food anyway would eat them and thus suffer the side effects of the smile, thus causing every single person who would grieve or cry or show any emotion other than happiness to permanently be happy despite their wanting to feel otherwise. A cheerful town where frowns do not exist. That was how Ebisu Town came to be. From a glance, everyone looks happy, but in reality, it is a tragic town where one cannot show sadness even if their family dies. So please do not blame these laughing people. And this just gets him mad and upset. This gets Zoro mad and upset. Stream going well. Good to know. Thank you. But we're almost getting close to the end of it because we only got one more chapter, and good Lord, was it a doozy of a chapter. And I thought the smile chapter was a big doozy, but the next one, but we're going to get into that. Toko's still consoling her father, laughing because, she's affected by the smile as well. And then we got Yasu smiling like a D, but I feel like that is a part of the effect of the smiles as well. Even if you die, your body still responds in a way that won't allow you to show any negative emotion. So you can't even die any other way but smiling when you eat these smiles. So even if it's an ungraceful death, if you eat a smile, you're going to die smiling. It could be the most saddest death ever that a person can have, but they will always smile despite it. And then people who eat smiles who are grieving for you, they can't even fully grieve because they have to they are forced to laugh and smile the entire time. And there is no break next week. Bruh. Ain't no break next week. Oh, I'm going to be covering it. But let me sit up because things are about to get good. So Toko's still consoling her father. Orochi's still on her way there. Hiyori's trying to warn Toko to get back because Orochi still has it in for Toko because she laughed at him. He petty like that. Everyone starts to recognize her as a girl who ate from Sanji's soba earlier. Orochi starts to close in, tries to take aim at Toko. Then all of a sudden, the shots that are fired at Toko are blocked by a swordsman and a man who can cook and kick you at the same time. So this was a 10 out of a 10 chapter, having Zoro and Sanji reunite after 5 years in chapters time, because ever since they were separated at Dressrosa, Sanji got chased away by Big Mom and her pirates. Well, not specifically Big Mom, but she was chased away by they were chased away by Capone, while Luffy and the others had to remain on Dressrosa and help out there. But it's been 5 long years since these guys have reunited, and they're already button heads the moment they appear because they're wondering why are either of them there. That those two have assembled, and the fact that they're standing in front of Drake and Hawkins without a care in the world just shows you that they really don't care, or the fact that they're in such close proximity to one another is just already causing them to forget everything around them. But that's the end of that chapter, and then comes the big one of today, partner. Wow. It's just this chapter as a whole. So everyone is all like, hey, it's the murderer, Zoro. And then that's the rebel that beat up one of the members of the Kyoshiro family, Sanji. Of course, they don't call him Zoro and Sanji. But they got Toko in tow. And they're already butting heads within the first panel with each other. And Drake and Hawkins are starting to get prepared to fight, but Hawkins is the one who gets most prepared because he starts to transform and starts growling at them. Then, as Orochi starts to try and close in on Toko again, Zoro takes aim at Orochi, tosses Toko to Sanji, and manages to shoot a 720-pound cannon at him. But, of course, it's intercepted by Kiyoshiro. Now, here's my thing about Kiyoshiro. What is this dude's deal? What is his What is his true allegiance? What is his motive? I'm just so confused by this guy. What is he doing? I feel like he's a double agent, but he's just so deep in that he doesn't want to blow his cover. So he's going to do everything he can to maintain that cover, like Severus. But I feel like Kiyoshiro's endgame might turn out a little bit better than Snape's. But overall, I'm just wondering, what is Kiyoshiro's endgame? Like, we've seen it. The man is playing a good Severus. Exactly. Really? And Orochi is none the wiser. And I can't be mad at him because he did something that made everyone question his loyalty and made him mad at him, but he's still following the rules of, serving the Shogun, even though people don't like him. But at the same time, Hiyori is alive. He appeared to cut her down, but she's still alive. And he did everything in his power to make sure that Orochi was there to see it. So it makes me wonder, where does his true allegiances lie? What is the allegiance of the Kiyoshiro family itself? Because why else would he leave Hiyori alive, make all the preparations for a massive wake for Komurasaki, and then make it so that everything can be transponded when Yasuye was captured and executed? Why would he do all these things before Orochi could even think of doing it, and then act on his own accord if he didn't have an ulterior motive? I know I keep bringing this up every single time Kiyoshiro shows up, but there's just something about him. Did he get played, or is it part of the plan? That's what I'm wondering. What is Kiyoshiro's endgame? He is literally, I don't know what he's doing, but if he's fooling Orochi, he's doing a fantastic job because no one is questioning his motives. They just think he's doing it for the betterment of Orochi. Hey, from Denmark. Hello, it's good to have you here. I love it. I absolutely love it when people from different countries and different backgrounds come to my channel. You are always welcome here. Thank you for tuning in. So we're just going through the chapters that got released this week for One Piece. We're on the last chapter, so unfortunately the stream is going to be ending soon, but I'm still going to talk a little bit about today's chapter because there's a lot to take in. But my thing is, Kiyoshiro has got to be a double agent with the highest degree of, what do you call it? Of being inconspicuous, of keeping his cover, of not blowing his cover. Like, this dude, I don't know how long he's been doing it. I don't know when he started doing it, but this dude, I feel like there's something about him that that we have yet to see. He could either be a potential ally or he could be doing things for his own benefit. But what I know is he can't be all bad if Hiyori is still alive. The only reason why he's opposing Zoro right now is to look good in front of Orochi and to keep his cover. I feel like he's playing a cover. I don't know why, but that's what I feel. But let's go ahead and move on. I could talk about Kiyoshiro all day and how much him and Severus have so much in common, aside from, well, one still being alive. But he blocks the cannon from Zoro, and he starts walking towards Zoro, so it would look like Zoro and Kiyoshiro are about to square off. Then he tells Orochi to go back to the castle. He's wondering why Orochi has so few guards. That's because Orochi's cocky. Just because he's currently the Shogun don't mean he's smart. He's got as many brains as a celestial dragon does. Except he's kind of a little bit smarter. And the one celestial dragon that always comes to mind is Saint Charlos. I hate that dude so much. Whenever he gets harmed in any way, I enjoy it. I normally don't enjoy human suffering, but when it's a celestial dragon, I grab my popcorn and I revel in it. So it makes me wonder what's going down with the Reverie right now, since the Revolutionary Army has already declared war on them. Are we going to see that? Like, all this is happening in Wano, and the Revolutionary Army is up in Marijois just wreaking havoc right now. Right now! And it's just me, I'm thinking is, we ain't gonna see this? You ain't gonna show nobody? But I feel like we'll get to it after we're done with Wano. Speaking of, where are we going after Wano? We've been hearing so many rumors about us going into the Wano arc years ago. Where do we go after this? Once Wano is done, we have no idea where they're going to go. Like, I know this is the Yonko saga, but it just makes me wonder, where are we going to go after Wano after this? Because Wano has been like the biggest teased arc for One Piece so far. So it just makes me wonder, after the Wano arc is done, where are we going to go from here? I mean, hopefully we'll go back to the Reverie and we find out what happened. Hopefully we get to see Ryukyu Gyu. I'm getting off track here. We'll talk about that later. So Drake goes full dinosaur, tries to chomp on Toko and Sanji, but Sanji, being one of the monster trio, easily dodges him effortlessly and pretty much kicks Drake in the face. But it doesn't look like it does him too much harm because Drake is still conscious after that hit. Then we have Zoro about to be shot at by the guards of Orochi, but Frankie jumps in with his indestructible cyborg body and blocks all the shots. Well, I wouldn't say indestructible. I would just say bulletproof. And then he goes after Kiyoshiro, while Frankie just takes him on himself. I love this panel where he's just smiling with a devilish eye, and you see the glow of his cyborg eye in one panel. I can't wait to see this animated. It's going to be so good. And everyone's all wondering, like, why are our guns not working? He's a roboto! Well, Cyborg Frankie! Who are these people? What's happening out there? And then Frankie takes up Yasuye and makes off with him because they're doing the same thing that Shanks did for Ace's body, for Ace back at Marineford. They're taking his body to make sure that the opposing forces don't defile him anymore. So I'm seeing some parallels here. Shanks did it for Whitebeard and Ace so that the Marines and world government couldn't parade the bodies of Whitebeard and Ace as trophies for their victory in the war. And the Straw Hats are pretty much doing the same thing for Yasuye so that Orochi and his guys and his people won't parade Yasuye as a trophy for them getting rid of yet another usurper for, Orochi's rule. So I'm actually seeing a lot of parallels of things that have happened in past chapters with a lot of people. So it's pretty interesting. But we see the Straw Hats preparing to fight, like all the Straw Hats. We don't see Brook get his own panel where he's preparing to fight. Like, we get Usopp shooting his stars. We get Robin preparing to use her Hana abilities. We got Nami with her climb attack. But we don't see Brook anywhere. And then Orochi starts making his way back to the castle. Hey, okay. I never noticed that the people carrying Orochi's carriage are actually gifters. I never noticed. I thought they were just normal people, but they got like either antelope legs or horse legs. That would explain how they're able to move so quickly with them on their arm, with them carrying Orochi, as big as he is. But it turns out that people who carry Orochi's carriage are gifters. I never noticed. Because I was looking at the dude's leg in this panel, and I was thinking, that's a rather long foot. Last time I checked, Orochi doesn't make characters with long feet anymore. Like, that's extremely noticeable if you were to look at the feet of pretty much anybody in One Piece pre-time skip. Like, Nami's feet were like extra long, and then Robin's feet were like super long, but I think Odin stopped drawing them that way. But yeah, turns out they're gifters, so I never noticed that. Interesting. But we got Zoro clashing with Kiyoshiro with his two-sword style. He can only use two swords because Gyuki Maru took Ryuma's sword from him. When is he going to get that back? Somewhere near the end of the arc? So when they start the assault on Onigashima? I don't know. Could Gyuki Maru be watching this whole time to see if Zoro's actually truly worthy to carry on and use Ryuma's sword? I don't know. Just a theory of mine. But continue on, he clashes with Kiyoshiro, and he's all like, get out of my way. And Kiyoshiro's all like, I cannot, because I am the Shogun's guard dog. I still feel like he's keeping up appearances in order to improve his cover. Then we got people going all around saying that they need to squash the rebellion on Denden Mushi's. Then we come back to the prison. Luffy's cheering on the Straw Hats while Queen and pretty much everyone else who's still watching the Sumo Infernal tournament go on just watch everything happen because they still got the transponder snail on the wall showing everything that's happening. And then apparently Queen gets told that the criminals, our men caught in the Flower Capital, have arrived. Criminals, tell me who they are, old maid. And it turns out to be Kamazo the Manslayer and Kid. Of course, I was so needlessly confused on how Kid got caught so quickly. Like, my thing wasn't he like days out? So how did he get caught so quickly? But we find out why. And Luffy's surprised, and Queen is kind of surprised. And apparently they say, we heard him yelling at us from the distance, then he rushed towards us. So we shot him a couple of times, and he didn't even bother resisting. He clearly, well, I don't think he can use his devil fruit powers due to the sea stone handcuffs. I mean, he has his regular strength, but okay. He couldn't use his powers of magnetism to draw in their weapons and attack them with it. But I guess he forgot about his sea stone handcuffs. And Luffy's all like, he escaped earlier, so did he get caught on purpose or something? And then Kamazo is laughing next to him. And Kid is all like, hey, you've always hated that laugh of yours. And then one day you stopped laughing altogether. And I was kind of wondering, like, does Kid know this guy? And then Kamazo starts laughing even louder. Those who dared to laugh at you were left at the brink of death. And then one day you put on that mask to completely hide it. And then I was thinking to myself, mask? What is he even talking about? And now after all that, what happened to you? What did Kaido do to you after we separated? Or was it Orochi? And where's the rest of our crew? And that's when I got completely confused. Because I was thinking, who is this guy? Is this guy a part of Kid's crew? Who could this possibly be? I don't recognize this guy. Answer me. Hey, killer. And that just baffled me so much. So Kamazo the Manslayer, the man that we've been hearing about in Wano so long being the mass murdering man in their newspapers, turns out to be one of the worst generation, one of the supernovas, one of Kid's crewmates, Killer himself. So this entire time, Kamazo has been Killer, and Zoro just cut him down like that. And I should have seen the similarities because he uses scythe. Now, of course, unlike Killer, he doesn't use them on armbands that causes the blades themselves to spin. But I should have seen the similarities because I was thinking, wow, this dude's using dual scythe, so he must be dangerous. But it never dawned on me that Kamazo was Killer this whole time, and I just completely lost it. And both Luffy and Grandpa Hiyu are both baffled and shocked at this. What could they have done to you for you to act like this? And it just makes me think that apart from he's constantly smiling, Killer is constantly smiling and laughing. We never heard him laugh. And apparently the laugh that we've been hearing him use all this time as Kamazo is one that he always hated, which kind of explains why he's never laughed and barely spoke. But for what, it just makes me wonder, what did they do to Killer to cause him to literally snap like this? Did they force feed him multiple smiles? Who did this to my partner? And everyone else is laughing at Kid and Killer. That's the masked guy from back then. Did he try to save his comrade who fell victim to the smile? How pitiful. And then we cut to another scene where they're both being dunked underwater, held in chains as they're being prepared to be executed. And like this was both an awesome chapter, but it was also a sad one. How cruel. So we got caught in the end. And Queen is all like, I thought of a fun game. So for every moment that Luffy stays alive in the Sumo Inferno tournament, Kid and Killer will be held underwater. If Luffy steps outside the ring, Luffy dies because the blades on the collar in his neck will expand and sever his head. But Kid and Killer will be raised out of the water. But there's no guarantee, like I said in my reaction, there's no guarantee that Queen is going to keep them alive after that. But yeah, the moment you leave this ring, the blades inside your collar will kill you in an instant. That part hasn't changed, but now these two will remain in the water as long as you two are alive. In other words, they will remain submerged until you both die. Both Grandpa Hiyu and Luffy. And Luffy's not having it. That's stupid. I got nothing to do with him. Of course, you might think that, but if that's the case, why are you hesitating now? Is it because they're the rivals from your generation? If that's the case, then why don't you just die now? Even a person who's committed grievous crimes to get a large bounty will drown when submerged in a mere 5 centimeters of water. He's not wrong. Then Luffy tries to punch Queen, and Queen easily catches it, loses his whole laughing demeanor, tosses Luffy aside, and he's all like, who do you think you're talking to? Don't get ahead of yourselves, you brats. Why have you been foolishly clinging to hope? Do you really think you'd leave here alive? Did you really think you'd leave here alive? Did you really think you could win against us? And everyone's noting that Queen suddenly lost this whole cheerful, happy demeanor. And then you're all going to die, every last one of you. Shut up, I'm the one who decides where I die. And then there's a massive thud outside of the prison, and everyone's wondering what that was. And then Queen's all like, what's that noise? It came from outside the gate. We've lost all communication with the guards out there. They've lost all communication with every guard outside of the prison from outside the gate, and they lost all communication with all the guards out front. Big Mom just pretty much took them out completely. And she's in her hunger pang moments again, and she's craving that Oshiruko. The craving is drawing closer, and this chapter doesn't put us on break, which brings us to the resolution that we are going to be getting more chapters next week. And I have to say that for this to be the month of May and for us to only get 3 chapters overall, they have been phenomenal. Oda has been on fire since last year. like constant fire. I haven't had any complaints from any of the chapters since then. Like, sure, there were a couple of moments in the Whole Cake Island that I thought were going on a little bit long, but overall the arc itself was great. But as soon as we got into Wano, every single chapter of Wano has been awesome. Every single one. Even when we cut from Wano and go to the Reverie, every single one of them have been amazing. And not only that, we are close to being halfway from 1,000 chapters of One Piece. 944 is what we're on right now. We are closely approaching 1,000 chapters of One Piece. All these years of reading this manga, it just baffles me. Now, I know Oda has had some moments in the past where some of his chapters weren't all that good, and we kind of wondered, like, Oda, what are you doing? I don't like this. This doesn't seem right. But ever since Wano started, and it's been going on from here, Oda has been showing his writing chops and storytelling chops and letting us know that, hey, there's a reason why you guys like this series. It's because it's good. But overall, there's just so many things in my mind right now. What happened to Killer to cause him to lose his mind like that and almost pretty much snap, for him to constantly laugh? Was he tortured by being force-fed smiles? I don't know. What's going on with Kiyoshiro? What is his ulterior motive? Why is he doing things that make him seem like a double agent? What is his end game? I am so curious about this guy. What's going to happen to all the people in Udon when Big Mom comes through? Because the thing about Big Mom and Hunger Pangs is she cannot differentiate friend from foe. So I can imagine that Chopper and the rest of them are possibly out of Big Mom's reach, so that she doesn't use her soul pocus to rip their souls out and try and eat them in order to, you know, get some sustenance for the Oshiruko that she is deprived of currently. I just don't know. I'm so curious. This week's chapters were mind-blowing. D-Train, dude, seriously. This entire month has been otherworldly. Like, I never thought that Oda could improve upon each chapter that he makes, but he continues to do it, causing me to make newer and newer facial expressions when plot twists happens within the chapters. So Oda is doing good. He is doing exceptionally well. And to think that we are still a ways off from the end of this arc happening. At least that's what I feel. Because all the Straw Hats are in the middle of the Flower Capital, about to have a knockdown drag out. We got Basil Hawkins, we got Diaz Drake there as well. We got Orochi returning to his castle. We got Zoro facing off against Kiyoshiro without his sword Shisui. We got Luffy trying to stay alive in the prison. Sorry, the corner of my eye is itching. It is robbing me of all my motor functions. You ever get that sweet spot on your eye and you just can't move except to scratch that until it's done? I'm sorry. That just me? Okay. But we got Luffy staying alive in the prison. Big Mom is literally outside of the gate itself. Kaido is just chilling. Yasuie has passed on. Hello, not just you. Yeah, okay. So it's not just me. Because sometimes I'd be at work and I scratch my eye. I literally cannot move from the spot I'm doing when I'm at work until that spot has been scratched out. So it just literally robs me of the ability to move until it is gone. It's like hitting a pressure point from the corner of your eye. It just locks your whole body up. But I'm getting sidetracked again. Big Mom's outside the gate. Kaido's chilling. Who knows where the rest of the Charlotte family is right now? They could possibly be still squabbling over who's going to lead over the crew, because as far as they know, they have no idea where Big Mom is. Oh, wow. I completely forgot that the Charlotte family is in Wano. So now we got another factor that we need to be concerning ourselves with. We got the Straw Hats. We got Orochi trying to kill all those opposed to him. We got the Red Scabbards trying to work their way into assaulting and usurping Orochi and going up against Onigashima, which had Kaido there. We got the Charlotte family, who could be wherever. We don't know. They could be wherever, doing whatever, trying to find Big Mom. And then we have, who else do we have? Oh yeah, we got Kid back. Kid's back along with Killer, who's been revealed to be Kamazo this whole time. It's just, there are so many people here in Wano. So many influential and powerful people here in Wano. Not to mention that the world government could possibly still be in Wano after their conversation with Orochi trying to barter for Vegapunk. So the world government themselves could be in the Flower Capital. They could just be somewhere in Wano. We just don't know where. But there's so many people. There are so many players in this in this game of Wano, not Game of Thrones, because that was sad. But we got so many key people here right now in Wano, and there's just I don't know how things are looking, because it's utter chaos right now. I told you guys that as soon as things started to heat up, like chaos was going to happen. I told you guys in multiple videos that utter chaos was going to happen with the Straw Hats being in Wano. It was only a matter of time. And lo and behold, we got the Straw Hats in the middle of the Flower Capital. And they're just wreaking havoc. It is sad that I'm still holding on hope that Marco will show up, even though he said no. It's funny because I believe one of the people that I'm following on Twitter, he does a lot of One Piece fan art. Very, very good person. The OP manga art. OP Mangart. Like manga, but ART on the end. He does a lot of art. And speaking of which, he has an image where it shows Marco going up against Kaido. So I don't know if that's some sort of premonition, or it could be. We have no way of knowing. We also have most of the supernovas except for Scratchman and Apoo. Right, where's Scratchman? Where's Apoo at? We got Hawkins and we got Diaz. We got Killer. We got Kid. Where's Apoo at? You make a very valid point. How did I miss that? Almost all the supernovas are there except for Mad Monku Rouge, Jewelry Bonnie, and Capone Gang Beg, or Beige, however you want to say it. Who's left? Well, Blackbeard, but we already know where he's at. He's chilling at what is it? Honeybee. I see Apoo appearing in Act 3. It'd be interesting to find out. Like we never got the name of his devil fruit, did we? Because we got the name of Basil. His is the straw fruit. And Diaz Drake's is the dragon fruit model Allosaurus. So it makes me wonder, will we finally get the name of Scratchman and Pooh's devil fruit? Not to, because afterwards that will pretty much only leave Mad Monk Urouge, Kid, and Jewelry Bonnie, because we never got the name of theirs. We only got like the description of it, but we never got the names of it. But this overall is just my opinion and just my review. My review for the chapters that we got today in May is mind-blowing. I cannot wait to see what June is going to bring us. We start June tomorrow. Not only that, but I start my Borderlands the pre-sequel series tomorrow as well. So, busy. But overall, I'm just still waiting for Zoro's reaction to Sanji's bounty. Oh, it's gonna happen. I feel like with the way Oden does things, he could either reveal it in the middle of the fight, causing Zoro to have like a sudden burst of motivation to beat everybody. He could reveal it when all has settled down, in order for there to be a comedic moment. But wow, a lot of people are starting to comment on my reaction now. Nice. I'm glad people like it. But overall, I thought that this entire month for One Piece was amazing. Not only that, but I think earlier this month I checked out the trailer for One Piece. What is it? What is that new movie coming out where it says that there's going to be a person, an old legend that comes into play? The movie where all the One Piece captains are going to be coming together to be joining like a competition or something, and we're going to see a whole bunch of people there, plus the world government, like Kizaru and a whole bunch of other people. Stampede! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! You've not even read today's chapter. What is you doing here? I'm here spoiling this entire thing and you haven't even read the chapter? Dude, go read the chapter. I want to start watching it, but it is far too long. You want to start watching One Piece? Well, yeah, there is a ton of episodes. There's almost as many episodes as there are chapters of One Piece. Hold on, let me see. Well, I've been carrying on for an hour. Let me just confirm how many episodes there are. Okay, it's over 800. No, I need an exact number. Currently, 888 with a few of them to be announced. I watched Levi versus Beat Titan though, dope. I still need to check that out. Watch 3 hours a day. You will catch up by 2020. But what if you increase that to maybe 5 hours a day? 6 hours? Wait, who has 6 hours free? Yeah, 3 hours sounds a lot more feasible because you never know with people, they could have jobs or whatever. But overall, One Piece, the person will increase when they hit that sauce. You're right. But overall, I just thought that this entire month for One Piece, I watched 800 episodes of One Piece in my summer vacation back when I was in uni. Oh, okay. Nice. But overall, this is just my opinion of all the chapters that we got for this month. And I look at myself and I got to remember to get that haircut because this woolly mammoth is starting to get a bit thick up here. And I normally have it shaved off, but I forgot to do it last week because I was tired and busy. But yeah, shave off the woolly mammoth. So my opinion over these chapters, and I know I keep saying this, but I'm going to focus. My opinion for these chapters is Oda is really showing us that he can keep us hanging on cliffhangers. And he can always, every single time we come off a break, it is always a chapter that reveals something great. It is never a dull chapter after a break. It hasn't been a dull chapter ever since this Wano arc started. I want to say, like, a little into, well, actually, Whole Cake Island and Wano themselves has pretty much jump-started Oda into becoming, like, god-tier levels of storytelling. Is One Piece a member of the Big Three? Big Three. Like, Big Three manga series? Because if so, I would like to say so. Because it's still ongoing. There's a lot of manga that's already finished, like Bleach and Naruto Shippuden. So I would like to say One Piece is part of the Big Three mangas in the world. Because, well, it is. Big Three anime. That is left up to interpretation. It is left up to the individual who watches them. So me personally, I consider One Piece one of my top 3 animes of all time, and it will remain in that top 3 permanently. But I also have My Hero Academia up there because it's phenomenal. Like, I recently just got the Blu-rays as well. Recently started catching up to JoJo. I got to start watching JoJo. I got to start watching Hunter x Hunter, and I got to start watching JoJo. I got a lot of anime I need to catch up on. But I feel like this summer is where I'm going to have the chance in order to do that. So there's that. But overall, from what I recall, I believe it is in Japan, but not in the United States. Overall, well, let's just see its current accolades. All right, One Piece has received praise for its storytelling, art, characterization, and humor. Several volumes. As of March 2019, the manga has sold over 450 million copies worldwide, making it the best-selling manga series in history. So it is the best-selling manga series. It became the best-selling manga for the 11th consecutive year in 2018. One Piece is one of the highest-grossing media franchises of all time, estimated to have generated over $20 billion in total franchise revenue from the manga, anime, films, games, and merchandise. So literally, One Piece by itself is a global conglomerate. Waiting for season 4 of My Hero. And then Kingdom. Ain't that a manga and anime as well? I think so. But yeah, One Piece is currently the top manga series with 92 volumes, created in 1997 with 457 million in sales. Overseas is 75 million. In Japan, it is 381 million. Well, 381,604,070 to be exact. With volumes 1 through 91 being 380 million, and volumes 92. Volume 92 alone has 1,604,070. 1,604,070. And that's just from volume 92. 92 onwards. Yeah, just from 92 onwards. Sorry, I'm looking at other pages here. I apologize. But close behind One Piece is Dragon Ball and Naruto, Case Close, Golgo 13, Blackjack, Kochikame, Oishinobo, Slam Dunk, Bleach, Astro Boy, Doraemon, Fist of the North Star, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Touch. And this is the manga series that have sold at least 1 million copies. So currently, and out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 manga, only 4 of them are still ongoing. Because Dragon Ball is over. Dragon Ball Super is the one that's still ongoing. But One Piece, Case Closed, Golgo 13, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are the only ones in the 100 million copies mark that are still ongoing. Have you watched Anime House? If not, I'd like to see a reaction of it. I'll check it out. I'll try and see if I got some free time today or maybe tomorrow, because today's Friday, so I got tomorrow off. Yay! So I got today off, today off, Saturday off, and Sunday off. Oh, I love 3 consecutive days off. One day I'm going to be able to do this full time, and I never have to worry about having days off, because then I'll be able to do this full time. But that's my goal. I'm working towards that. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to make it happen. I don't care how YouTube's acting right now. YouTube needs to be sent to the ranch so it can sort itself out. I need a mustache right here. Not the one I got, because mine's is light. But it needs a mustache right here, and YouTube needs to be sent to the ranch so it can sort out its algorithms, so small channels like me can get just a little bit of recognition, and I can actually start to make this my full-time job if it's not too much trouble. Thank you. That's my best Dr. Phil. I'm sorry. It's horrible. But I got so much time this summer since I'm not in school, so I'm going to be able to catch up on anime, catch up on my manga, catch up on all my games, hopefully, because we got a bunch of them. Then E3 is happening. Good Lord, my goodness. There's just... This summer is going to be packed with games and movies And manga, speaking of movies, me and my sister are going to be going to see Godzilla. Now, I know it comes out today, but I don't know if they're going to go see it today. Possibly tomorrow, maybe Sunday. But we're definitely going to go see Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I just got to pair it up with them to find out when. But I'm getting off track here. I'm just talking to you guys. Thoughts on John Wick? Phenomenal. I highly recommend it to everyone here. It is great. It is great. It's great. But looking at all these mangas that are still going, like Attack on Titan has only sold 90 million because it's not in the same tier as One Piece and the rest of them. Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter. Where's My Hero Academia? Is it not even in the same listings? No, My Hero's Academia is in the tier between 20 and 30 million copies sold. So it's just below Terraformers, The Gray Man, Chihaya Furu, Seito Shokun, Ace of Diamond, Black Butler. So My Hero Academia is actually in the bottom tier of manga listings for listings of best-selling anime. Attack on Titan is monthly, sadly. Thoughts on John Wick? Favorite in the trilogy? I like them all, but 3 just goes above and beyond. Academia kicked off so fast. It really did. I don't know if it was the manga itself, the fact that it speaks to a lot of us people who are massive fans of Marvel and DC comics or any comics in general. But the fact that it blended, like the fact that one of its main characters was drawn in a style of American comics, and it's all set in a world where people have superpowers and everything. It's just straight up amazing, and it's just resonated with people who love superheroes, and people who love anime and superheroes got the best of both worlds. So, and it kicked off so well too, because they know exactly how to do some good storytelling. And this is coming from a person who has yet to finish reading through the rest of it. So I might not continue doing My Hero Academia on my channel because it's just not as pop. I'm gonna be honest. It's just not as popular as my One Piece series. My One Piece series gets the most recognition on my channel. My One Piece videos gets the most views on my channel. I could play a game and I get like a handful of views. I do a simple reaction to One Piece and I get like 6 to 7 to 1,000 net on a couple of them. Not every single one gets to 1,000, but One Piece is my main manga series that gets the most attention. So I might just go ahead and take some time and just read through My Hero Academia and just catch up. But My Hero Academia itself is great. But the fact that it's actually on the bottom tier of manga that is on the list of best-selling manga is it actually kind of surprises me. I figured it would at least be in the second or third tier at best, you know, because it hasn't been around too long. But you should do what you like also. Business choices smart. True. Yeah, you have a point. Like, I feel like I want to continue to make videos on My Hero Academia, but I'm just wondering, like, people mainly come to my channel for One Piece. I mean, that's pretty much where most of my subscribers came from the voices that I do for the chapter, and because they like to see me react to it. And some people, I have been getting a couple of comments lately from when I did like full read-throughs of entire volumes, people saying that I haven't been able to find this anywhere. Thank you for reading this. So that's actually the reason why I haven't completely given up on trying to do My Hero Academia on the channel. I just need to find the time to actually sit down and do them. So no, I'm not going to stop having a My Hero Academia on my channel. I just got to work up to doing the videos for them again until I eventually catch up. Because I know we're in the 200s so far as I know of My Hero Academia, but I just got to catch up. So My Hero Academia is going to stay, but I got to take my time and work on it. So there we go. But overall, I've been given my impressions of all these chapters that we've got so far? Have you got the One Piece mobile game, Treasure Cruise or Thousand Storm? Because if you mean Treasure Cruise, I keep installing it and uninstalling it, even though I get like phenomenal people, even though I get like great characters. Like I almost got Doflamingo once. I had Emporio Ivankov and a lot of different Straw Hats. I think I even had Marco at one time, but I keep uninstalling it and installing it because I really just don't play games on my phone, to be honest. Like if I want to play full out games, then I just resort to either my Switch or my PlayStation. Those are the main two things that I game on. Like sure, playing on my mobile is good to pass the time, but I really just don't invest too much time in playing on games on my phone. My opinion is mixed on it. It is on it. I prefer Dokkan Battle, that Dragon Ball. I played that too, but it's same issue with One Piece. I just don't game enough on my phone for me to consider keeping too many games on there. Like I got a couple on there, like Hitman Sniper and Odd Stranger Tales and Hungry Dragon and Bleach Brave Souls. I mean, out of all of them, I want to say out of all the anime games, Bleach Brave Souls is one that I play the most. And I actually have never uninstalled that one. I've been playing that thing for years. I've been playing it since it came out. And I've earned a ton of people. Like I got Ulquiorra when he has the Hokyoku, when he looks like a literal bat god. Keep getting me sidetracked. It's fine. I don't mind talking to you guys. I like to engage you guys so you guys know that your interaction with me and my interaction with you is what causes this channel to succeed. Because you guys know how I am. I don't do clickbait. I don't do things to try and get people's attention or try and get people's views. I do it because I want to interact with you guys and I want to entertain you. And yeah, that's pretty much my goal whenever I do any of my videos is if one person likes it and they're entertained, that's good enough for me. Hinata, hey, what's going on? You're pretty much at the tail end of the stream. We're just talking now. I already did all my reflections for the recent chapters of One Piece in the month of May on the last day of the month, as you guys know I tend to do. But yeah, it's been a phenomenal month for One Piece overall. And what are your opinions on all the chapters that we've been through? Like, I want to hear your thoughts. Like, for those of you who have been following the One Piece chapters we've been getting this month alone, what did you think so far? I found you watching Borderlands, and now I like all of my content. Well, thank you. I cannot be anything but humble for your continued support. I'm still working towards getting to that 1,000 mark, so that way I can be able to monetize my stuff again, because you know how YouTube is. It doesn't trust small channels to get high numbers, and they expect some people to give up, but I'm not. I'm going to prove them wrong, and I'm going to surpass everything. So, and I'm going to continue to do YouTube until I am no longer able to move, period. That's how I am. So, I digress. I'm sorry. What did you guys think of that? I keep getting sidetracked again. I do apologize. But what did you guys think of the chapters that we got in this month as a whole? Because I thought they were phenomenal. But I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on what you got or what you've read. Because what are your opinions? Like, what are you expecting the next chapter to be? Because we're getting one next week. We're not going on break. We're getting one next week. And I can't wait. But what are your guys' takes on the chapters that we've gotten as a whole? Oh, wait. Yeah, I can't wait for you to release one vid and blow up. Well, I did have that one eBay commercial, but for some odd reason, they removed the American version. They removed the one... the American version of that commercial I did. It was 2 years ago when I did this. They still got the Canada version, but they removed the American version, and that was actually close to 1 million views. I can't believe I was a part of a commercial where I almost got 1 million views on YouTube. That's pretty much where a big influx of people who subscribed to my channel came from, because they saw me on TV and came over here. But once again, I digress again. I once again apologize for getting sidetracked. But seriously, what did you guys think of this chapter for this month? Just this month. There's some things outside. But I'm good. Wow, didn't know about that eBay commercial. Yeah, not a lot of people know. I'm not one to try and flaunt my success. I tend to be a bit low key. I'm thankful for my success, but I'm not one to just flaunt and boast about things that have happened to me, like very successful things. I try to be humble in all the things that happen to me, because if I'm humble at a young age and I remain that way growing up, then should I become, a little bit more well-known in the future, and it actually starts to benefit me both financially and notoriety wise, then I won't lose sight of what's important. So that's why I don't really talk too much about it. I bring it up when certain things are said in conversations, but I'm not going to go out of my way to say, hey, I was in a commercial once. You guys want to hear about how I was famous for 2 years worldwide? No, I'm not going to do that. So last off topic thing, All Might and Jump Force. Haven't got the game, getting it soon. Oh yeah, I heard about All Might being in Jump Force. I wonder if anyone's done a comparison between how he fights in Jump Force and My Hero One's Justice. Which, to go off on another tangent, when are we going to get more Musou games based off of licensed properties? We're getting Persona 5 next year, Persona 5 Scramble. But with them making this, we could get either a DC Musou, we could get a Marvel Musou game, we could get a Bleach Musou. I'm holding out for either Bleach or Naruto. Those are my dream games to be made into Dynasty Warriors style games. You guys hear me say this all the time, because that is in my hopes and dreams that I get either a Naruto Dynasty Warriors game or a Bleach Dynasty Warriors game, where we get to play as hundreds of these characters, upgrade them, send them after mobs, because, well, frankly, in Bleach and Naruto, that's pretty much when they fight, when they're facing off against a large group of people. And, like, just one example, think. You could be playing as Madara Uchiha against the entire, 4th Division or 5th Division? During the 4th Great Ninja War. I want to say 5th Division, during the 4th Great Ninja War. And you're just playing as him, and you're just wrecking everybody. Like, if they just think about it, you have the trailer for the game come up, and you show, like, the beginning of Naruto all the way to the end. I don't know why they done Boruto. It kind of flopped compared to Naruto. Yeah, Boruto is not as famous as Naruto. Maybe it's because, I don't know, did you review Aladdin? Not sure if I saw a notification to it, if you did. I did not. I have not gone to see Aladdin yet. I might go ahead and see it, because I heard it's got mixed reviews, but it's not as bad as people were expecting, because, a lot of people base the prospects of the movie off of just seeing Aladdin's genie. So I'll leave my own review for it for if I see it. Wonder if Japanese people like Boruto. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see how famous Boruto actually is. Actually, Boruto was actually in the list for best-selling mangas. Wasn't he? Nope. Boruto ain't even in the listing for best-selling manga of all time. Not even there. I mean, Robin Williams had the big shoes to fill. following Robin Williams is like one of the toughest acts to ever follow. Because the dude, the characters he voices are essentially them being drawn based on him, not him voicing the character based on how the people who created that character want him to behave. The characters are Robin Williams in cartoon form. So so yeah, it's kind of difficult to follow behind such a phenomenal guy. He did a decent job, in my opinion. He added his own flavor to it. If you don't like Will Smith's acting, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Everyone is entitled to each his own. But going back to Boruto, let's see how many copies they've sold and whether it's actually popular. Reception! All right. The manga has been generally well received in Japan. The compilations appeared as top sellers multiple times. In its release week, the first manga sold 183,413 copies. The series had 1 million copies in print as of January 2017. Between 2017 and 2018, became the 8th best-selling manga from Shueisha. The manga's first volume also sold well in North America, while the series became the 6th best serialized manga in 2017, according to ICV2. In 2018's fall, Boruto remained as the 4th best-selling manga from North America, with obviously One Piece still maintaining that 1-point lead for so long. For 11 consecutive years. Good Lord, how do you do that? I mean, we'll try his best, but it's Robin Williams. 13 mil is my guess. Dude, your content is awesome. You're so underrated and deserve so much more. You and a few more have inspired me to become an anime and manga reviewer. Go for it. I don't care what anyone says to you concerning doing this. If you want to do this, do it. Let no one tell you different. Let no one dissuade you from doing what you love. Because I've been inspired. I've seen other YouTubers and they kind of inspired me to do this, but I add my own flavor to it, like add in voices and different inflections for different characters. Because I don't know many reviewers, if any do it at all, that actually try to voice characters, like truly voice characters. So that's sort of what sets me apart. But do what makes you happy. If you want to do anime and manga and do reviews on it, go for it. Do it to the best of your ability, but do it the way you want to do it. Don't worry about how everybody else does it. Just do it what makes you feel comfortable. I've been doing it the same way. That's why, I know a lot of people say that if you do the whole like, comment, and subscribe thing in your videos, then that can pull people in. Yes, I know it can play on the mind a little bit, and some people will subscribe without even thinking about it. But I want my videos to get people to subscribe to and due to the quality of the videos themselves, without me having to try and persuade you or play in your mind like, if I like, comment, and subscribe, okay, I'll just do this. No, that's why I stopped saying it. That's me personally, because I felt in myself that the people who watch my stuff are competent and smart enough to make their own decisions without me trying to influence them in any way. So do what makes you happy. Do it to the best of your ability. Do not be dissuaded from doing what you love. And I wholeheartedly have the most respect for you if you do this. I mean, it's if you want to do it. Like, I'll still have respect for you if you don't, at the end of it, if you don't want to do it. But if this is truly what you want to do, go after it. Go after it with your whole heart. And just do it like no one else. That's all I got for you. Because when you do something like this, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like a job. If you love doing something, it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel boring. It doesn't feel lazy to you. Because I love doing this. I wish I could do this every single day. I wish I could get paid to do this. But I love doing this. This is my passion right here. Just entertaining you guys, talking to you guys, playing games with you guys, and doing manga reviews. This is what I love to do. This is where my talents lie. Like, I currently work at a job right now doing other things, but I'm only working there because it's the only source of income I have. And that's the only reason why I'm still there. But once I make it so that this can do that for me, this is what I'm going to be doing all the time. I don't care how long it will take, but I'm going to do it. It is my goal, and I'm going to make it a reality. I don't care how long it takes. Let no one tell you that you can't do something. You are capable of doing anything that you want to. Just a little pep talk from me. But just when you start doing what you love to do, sorry, I'm starting to read something else. When you start doing what you love to do, the opinions of the other people don't matter. And then you start to move into your own, and then you start to really enjoy it. And that's when it starts to take off for you. There you go. So back to Boruto. Let me see. Rebecca Silverman of Anime News Network said Boruto appealed to her despite never having gotten into the Naruto manga. She praised how the writers dealt with Boruto's angst without it coming across as teen whining and the way Sasuke decides to train him. Amy McNulty of ANN regarded the manga as appealing to fans of the original Naruto series, adding that while Mitsuki has a small role in this story, his side story helps to expand his origins. Let me see. I don't want to go into anything that'll possibly be spoilerish. If I created an anime, I would make the main character the rival with awful one-liners and the best character development. It definitely came across as teen whining. It did! Especially if you watch the anime, him just griping over the fact that Naruto is his dad just came off across as whining. And I feel like regardless of how smart Boruto is, and mind you, I don't really read the manga. I read all the way up until the point where they rescued Sakura from that Uchiha guy that had the multiple eyes in his arm. That's pretty much where I stopped reading the manga itself. But Boruto as a whole, his just whole opinion of his dad without knowing truly what his dad has done for the entire ninja world, not just the Leaf Village, it just comes across as him being just like stubborn, pig-headed, and at oftentimes nauseating. Because my relationship with my dad is awesome. So when I see a kid like him going off on his dad without having absolutely no idea what his dad has done for not only him, but pretty much everyone in the entire world, it just makes me wonder, dude, do you not know what your father has done for you? Not for you, but for pretty much everyone. If it wasn't for your dad and his friend slash rival, everyone would be stuck in a permanent Tsukuyomi and Kaguya would be ruling over the world right now. It seems somewhat desperate. Yeah, just crying for attention. Like my thing with Boruto is he comes across as a dude that wants nothing to do with his dad, yet he'll constantly do pranks to get his dad's attention. Sasuke has great development in it along with Gaara. Yeah, Gaara and Sasuke had phenomenal character development. They've gone from being like straight up killers to being people who actually go out of their way to protect other people and potentially the world itself. And Gaara coming out of his shell from being just like a psychopath to being a Kazekage and one of the most respected people in all of Naruto itself at the end of the day. So that is what you call a good character arc. All it takes is Sasuke reminds me of Vegeta and Bakugo. Yeah. The friendly rival. At times they want to kill the main character, but at the end of the day, they just become rivals that sometimes can't stand the place where the main character walks on, but always sees them as a one rung in the ladder of their success. The one object that they have to overcome in order for them to be the strongest, and they revel in the idea of them being able to surpass the person that somehow manages to surpass them at every turn. So, yeah, I see the parallel right there. Wow, I've been carrying it on for an hour 30. And you guys are still here. Guess I'm doing something right. But back to Boruto. Let's see. The anime itself, critics also commented on Boruto's characterization in the anime. Beveridge applauded the series' first episode, saying he felt Boruto's portrayal was superior to the one from the manga, while other writers enjoyed his heroic traits that send more positive message to viewers. Reviewers praised that the returning character Sasuke Uchiha, why did I call him Sasuke Uchiha? Sasuke Uchiha has become more caring towards his daughter Sarada, the female protagonist of the series, and they felt this highly developed the two characters. It really has. Having Sasuke come back and care for his daughter and showcase, like, be more grounded rather than just being the wandering hermit that Jiraiya was. Wow, I never pictured it, but Sasuke pretty much took up the same role that Jiraiya did, wandering around, gathering information in order to protect both the Elite Village and the world. I never noticed. Sasuke's become the new Jiraiya. Wow. How did I not pick up those parallels? Critics felt this further helped expand the connection between the Uchiha family members, Sasuke, Sakura, and Sarada, due to how their bond is portrayed during the anime's second story arc. So that's pretty much the current reception for Boruto. I'm just looking at this whole page right here. Sorry if I keep... if Sasuke is Jiraiya, is Naruto Tsunade? Well, if you want them to be compared in terms of paperwork they never seem to get away from, then yeah. And it's 11:36. I figured I would have the grass cut by now so I can start doing the stream of Code Vein. But I'll eventually get to it. I'll eventually cut the grass in the back, and then a little bit afterwards, expect to see a stream of me trying out Code Vein's network tests, because I've been looking forward to this game for a long time. We still don't have a release date on it, so that's actually kind of surprising to me. But that's Boruto. All right, let me close all these things out. What do you guys think of who's been following the news for the I'm breaking away from manga talk and I'm going into game talk. Who's been following the news for the Avengers Project game that Square Enix and Marvel have been working together with? Recent news has shown that it's going to be shown off in E3. And apparently, like the parallels for it, let me just actually go ahead and bring it up here. Because to me, it almost sounds like this could be our answer to Marvel Heroes Omega. Now, those of us who played Marvel Heroes Omega, both on the PC and the PlayStation as well, know it's basically like, it was a great game. I likely never heard of this game. But overall, playing Marvel Heroes Omega was pretty much the best spiritual successor to the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series. Before Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 got announced, Marvel Heroes Omega was a phenomenal game where you could play as a whole bunch of different characters, customize them to your liking, different powers, different upgrades, different prestige unlocks. So even if you got max level, you can continue to work on your character and unlock different settings, like having effects of infinity gems or cosmic powers, like powers of the Phoenix Force, like being able to revive, or different characters and villains you could play as. You could play as Ultron and different types of characters. Well, from the sounds of this Marvel Avengers game, which is basically just being called Marvel's Avengers, sounds similar to DC Universe. It actually played a lot different. It actually played a lot closer to Diablo. Top-down view with multiple people that can join it with you. Well, more than 4 people. But it was basically I wouldn't say a looter shooter, but it was a looter dungeon crawler. But it looked good, and because it had like a top-down view, you can get loot from enemies and different pieces of gear you could attach to your characters that can give you different effects, like increased critical hit damage for different characters, legendary gear. There was just so much for it. But unfortunately, Bazillion, that was in charge, that like helped create the game along with Disney, they sort of, well, along with, I want to say Disney and Marvel, Disney and Marvel, they went belly up like literally months after the game dropped on PlayStation. They went completely belly up. They went bankrupt, and people who spent money within the couple of months of the game being out got refunded, and the whole game just shut down completely. People were upset. People loved it. I myself included, because I love playing as Doctor Strange, and it was either Doctor Strange or Ultron. They were my favorite characters. They were some of my strongest characters. Well, actually, Scarlet Witch was my strongest character because she had the ability to just cause a rift that could literally just cause enemies to just straight up disappear out of existence, regardless of how strong they were. It was great. But it was a sad day when the game shut down completely, and we no longer got to play it. But back to it. Sorry, you need to go. Food is here. Dude, don't ever let me distract you from eating. Go eat. You'll be back in about 20. Well, I don't know if I'll be still here at 20 because I kind of need to cut the grass in the backyard and then try and get the stream ready for Code Vein. So I'm probably just going to talk just a little bit longer. But if there's nothing else, then I'll probably just end the stream here. And then I'll probably, look through my reaction and reply to some comments that people are still uploading to me. So if I'm not here in 20 minutes, then, well, you know why. But going back to Marvel's Avengers, it's basically being called Marvel's Avengers. It will have hero customization, single and multiplayer. And it's being what's in store from the Crystal Dynamics game. Embrace your powers and join key members of the development team at Crystal Dynamics and the creative team at Marvel Games as they talk exclusively about the upcoming Marvel's Avengers. This is the defining Avengers gaming experience, an epic action-adventure that combines cinematic storytelling with continuous single-player and cooperative gameplay, moderated by Andrea Rain. Assemble in teams up to 4 players, master extraordinary abilities, customize your heroes to fit your playstyle, and combine powers to defend an ever-expanding world under constant threat. So, going off of this, some people have surmised that it could be like a games as a service type game, but whereas a lot of games tend to fail at doing that, like Monster Hunter World is a good example as a games as a service because in some instances it requires an internet connection in order to run. Just like Marvel Heroes Omega required an internet connection in order to run because it was an online game. But overall, if it is done right, like perfectly right, there can't be any flaws in it. There can't be any hangups. You can't try to steer in one direction that's going to drive people away, because if you drive one person away with one feature, then a lot of people will follow suit. But if it's done right with the players in mind, not with the pay in mind, but if it's done right, I'm not complaining. How did a One Piece discussion end up about Marvel? I don't know. Like, I literally can just segue into so many different things. But you guys already know my opinion on the chapters of One Piece Reflections. I kind of don't. I actually, you know what? It's a good point, though. I kind of want to keep on track here. But if done right, Marvel's Avengers will turn out really good. If it's done right and they do it with the players in mind, and longevity in mind. They sort out the kinks and make sure that it's done so that it is not like gratuitous microtransactions or made to be like a pay-to-win type scenario. If they do it that way and they make Gambit a player, hopefully with all of the Marvel characters now back in Marvel's hands again, I highly doubt we won't get any of the Fantastic Four or any of the exclusive X-Men that we have yet to get in any of past media or games under Marvel's control. So that's hopeful. But I'm back to One Piece. Let me get back on track here because I can easily just segue into something else. Back to One Piece. I'm just wondering, after Wano's done, where do they go from here? Because they already got the imprint of the road poneglyph from Big Mom. They're currently in Wano right now because they're going up against. They eventually are going to go up against Kaido and get his road poneglyph. So then it makes me wonder who's next on their list. Who's next on their list? I feel like it could either be Shanks who's at the end of the road to give Luffy the road poneglyph at the end after Luffy potentially beats him or does something that gets Shanks' approval, or it could be Blackbeard who's at the end of the wall. Or it could be Blackbeard who's at the end of it all, and he's the final person that they have to defeat. What with him somehow using his abilities to, with him and his crew, both hunting down Devil Fruit users in order to steal their powers because Absalom's dead. And who knows how many powers Blackbeard has now. Like, if he's able to have 2 Devil Fruit powers, then what does that mean? Can he have more? Can he essentially turn himself into Delsin Rowe and just absorb other people's powers? Do you expect a fight against Blackbeard on the island Raftel? It would be it would be anticlimactic if Blackbeard wasn't the last obstacle to have before they get to Raftel, because he pretty much set himself up as the end-all, beat-all villain. He has the power of the Yami Yami no Mi, an ability that can negate the powers of Devil Fruit users and inflict harms on Devil Fruit users who are normally unharmed by standard attacks, even Logia users. And he also has the powers of Whitebeard, which allows him to basically destroy and wreak havoc on anything. And when these 2 powers are combined, like, actually, we never even see him combine these powers. Can he even combine these powers? Could he? Has he learned to control them? I have no idea. Im-sama is the final villain. Oh, good point. I forgot. We still got the High King of the world. Like the king of the world. Not the elders and not the celestial dragons, but Im himself, who's the true ruler of the world. And the fact that we only caught a glimpse of him and then we're here in Wano, it just makes me wonder, will we find out the true history of the Void Century and the true history of the world? Will we find out how Devil Fruits work? When will we find out when will we meet Vegapunk and find out why he's the smartest man in the world, being able to turn weapons, being able to feed weapons Devil Fruits and cause them to come to life? Or cause things like Pacifistas to replicate the same powers from Kizaru and cause them to be replicated into different cyborgs? I still want to know what's up with that giant straw hat. Me too! Why, of all the simplest objects in the commoner world that the Celestial Dragons so commonly know it as, why would they keep something like that as their national treasure? What purpose does it serve? And why does Doflamingo know about it? There's just so many questions. But overall, I just wanted to cover it belonged to a giant. Maybe. Possibly. Don't know. We're just going to have to wait until these chapters come out, until we come out of Wano, and hopefully we'll go back to the Reverie and see the aftermath of the battle the Revolutionary Army is having with the Celestial Dragons and the world government there. Because they're there trying to get Kuma back. And now they're going all out, and not only to get Kuma back, but to fully declare war on the Celestial Dragon. So I can only imagine what devastation awaits us when we get back to the Reverie again. Even with both of the new admirals, Fujitora and Ryukyu there, and Garp, and Rob Lucci, it just makes me wonder. I don't know. But there's not too much else I can talk about with One Piece. There's a ton of things I can talk about with One Piece. But I just really wanted to put my 2 cents in on all the chapters that we got this month. So thank you guys for sticking out with me. I almost went on for 2 hours straight. Wow. I need something to drink. So I thank you guys for sticking out with me during this whole reflections. I think I'm going to do my reflections this way from now on. Just live stream and talk to you guys so we can have a good consensus on what we read. And we can have like friendly conversation, back to back and back and forth concerning the chapters that we've read throughout every month, every end of the month. This is what I'm going to be doing every end of the month if you didn't know. Unless Blackbeard is Luffy's final villain, M-Sama is Dragon's villain. Possibly because Dragon is going after the Celestial Dragons and those who rule over the world and literally rob everyone of their freedom. So I would see M as Dragon's final foe and Blackbeard as Luffy's final foe, especially since the part Blackbeard's had in the death of Ace. So Luffy's got a major gripe with him and Akainu. So there's that. But this is where I'm going to end it here for today, folks. So I hope you all enjoyed. I cannot wait to see you all in my next video. Thank you for taking the time out to see me today and for sticking out this long. You guys didn't have to do it, but you did. And from the bottom of my heart, I humbly appreciate you all for always coming out to see me do this, play games, or do reviews. So thank you once again. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button now.